Hello and welcome, my name is Tiz, and this is another episode of... I just made the classic mistake on YouTube where I filmed my entire video and had my mic muted. On my channel, we do a First Play Friday where chat votes for what game we're gonna play and we try to beat it in one sitting, and then I do this little review thing and I let you guys know what I thought. So I wanted to set up a general framework for when I review these games, what you guys can expect, and to try to make it a little bit more interesting so you're not just like watching hours of gameplay, unless that's what you like, and I'll link my VOD later. As we make more of these videos, I'm sure the ratings will kind of change, the categories might shift a little bit, but generally, I kind of went through and made a list of things that I think you guys would find interesting when reviewing these games, and it is the cost, the summary, the replayability value, the visuals, so like the graphics and the art style, the music, the interactivity, so how well it is to play with community or with friends, and then also a couple of different categories as far as like almost the vibe of the game, so like how cozy it was, how fun, how traumatizing, and a couple little silly categories that we'll talk about at the end. So today we played Spirit of the North. The cost of this game is $19.99 on Steam currently. I believe I got it with a Steam winter sale as part of a bundle, so it was like $5 or $10. I would say if you can get it on sale, totally worth it. All right, let's just dive into the content. So today, we're gonna be playing Spirit of the North, giving it a try. Spirit of the North is a single-player, third-person adventure game inspired by the breathtaking and mysterious landscapes of Iceland. Play as an ordinary red fox whose story becomes intertwined with the guardian of the Northern Lights, a female spirit fox. I can't handle how cute it is. There's no narration throughout the game. There's a couple little prompts that tell you what controls to use, but the story itself is left completely up to interpretation. Look at this. This is really pretty though. Personally, I like games like this that allow you to draw your own conclusions. It was just enough of a story to kind of make you want to see what was going on, but without it completely explaining everything. It's a little puzzly game. As far as the replayability goes, personally, I wouldn't play it again. It was a great first play. If you're somebody that likes to 100% games, during the game you do try to reunite shamans with their staffs, and it's one of those things that you don't have to do it, but in order to 100% the game you would have to find all of them. So if that's something that you would enjoy to do, I could see one wanting to replay it. As far as the visuals go, I thought it was gorgeous. The nature and the landscapes were stunning, and especially when you pair that with the music, it was a 10 out of 10. So far I love the music. I'm a big fan of orchestral music in games. Like really good attention to the details. The music and stuff just gives me the chills. Now we continue on. I think the graphics were just good enough to be pretty and capture the essence of these gorgeous landscapes without it being too taxing on your PC. As far as interactivity, there's not really a whole lot of opportunities to be able to play with somebody else or with the community, but it is a fun game just to chill and watch. There's games like this that some of them I'm like, I feel like if I wasn't streaming it, I might not enjoy it as much just because I wouldn't have anything else to do at the same time. It's nice to have like chat to keep part of my brain busy. All right, for our separate categories, cozy, I would give it a 7. It was a great cozy game, something that you would love to wind down at the end of your day, just running around and exploring this beautiful world. It's no combat, like you don't fight or do anything, you just kind of like interact with a couple things. There's some puzzles that are a little tricky, but for the most part, you kind of just like wander around and look for stuff, which if that's your vibe, super fun. As far as fun, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 5 or a 6. It was just interesting enough to make me want to keep going and know what happens at the end, but I'm also very impatient and like to rush through things pretty quickly while I just run forever and ever and ever. I'm not a very patient person also, by the way. There's a couple times where you walk really slowly and that just drives me absolutely crazy. I can't move faster even if I wanted to. It's a little bit slow, so Personally, I found myself getting a little bored here and there because you kind of do have to really explore to find certain aspects in the game. All right, we're searching and we're searching and we're searching some more. This kind of gives me almost like, I don't know how many of you guys played the new Senua, but for whatever reason, it kind of makes me feel like that, where it's like, it's really pretty and you're walking along, like especially like this part, right? Like you're walking along and you're seeing the sights, like the spirits of the past, but you also can't really do anything. It feels like it's almost like a walking movie. But then it's like, as soon as I'm like, oh, I think I'm getting bored with this, then I'll find something like this and I'm like, okay, well that's kind of cool. Now I kind of like it a little bit. I kind of wish I didn't have to gather the blooms every time though, and I was just charged up. The game has 8 chapters. Does it really? Okay. See, I just had to have patience. I just have to wait. As far as our traumatizing rating goes, I'm always prepared when I see animals to be absolutely traumatized. I cry if any animal is ever hurt in any game. And this, honestly, I would give it like a 3 or a 4. It wasn't as bad as I expected. We'll leave it at that. Did we just die? Oh no! I knew that was gonna happen. I promise it's way better than it looks. For challenging, I would also give it a 4. Everything is pretty linear, and anything that you need to find is usually within a smaller area, so you don't have to explore too much. And the puzzles seem to be fairly straightforward. There were a couple, I give it a little bit of a higher rating just because there were a couple things that I got stuck on for a little bit.
We did it!
But ultimately, I wouldn't say that the puzzles are too incredibly difficult. Maybe a 5. I've run into a couple puzzles that have actually been a little bit difficult. That took a second to figure out what to do. So I used the flowers to get the energy, and then I put the energy into the rocks, and it makes things happen. Right. For our a little bit sillier categories at the end, one of our categories that the community chose was ADHD squirrel. So it was how often I got distracted by
my eyes.
Whatever it is, right? Whether it was the scenery,
Skyrim jump my way up,
or a task that I didn't necessarily need to be doing in the game.
little fur, look at that little nose.
Really, I should probably have my community rate me on this instead of me rate myself. I would say it was like a 3. I think I did really well at doing on track.
I can bark?
And wag my tail.
What is this?
The little sneezes. I like to just like, let's go around. It was slow enough that I could look around while I was still walking towards my next objective. So it was pretty easy to not get super distracted.
Hello?
Oh, I think he's dead. Looks like he's a skeleton. The little details, like shaking the water off, is just so cute. Arf. Next category is gravity. What do we mean by that? It's how many times the boss of gravity claimed me. What was nice about this game is you couldn't die. The gravity boss held no sway here. I could jump off all of edges and everything was fine. I will say that the jumping mechanic was a little bit frustrating, and so there were a couple times that I was having issues.
If that's the case,
trying
right?
to jump onto another platform. Fucking. Or the direction of the jumping was a little bit of a struggle.
Ooh, what the?
So
I keep bouncing off the rock.
God, oh, I'll make it eventually. Scale of 1 to 10, a 4. I'm giving it a lot of 4s, aren't I? All right, and then the last category, we have something in my community we call the Leroy Tizkins. It's how often I just charge ahead doing things that I probably shouldn't doing without thinking. Tizkinables. How much we can just charge through. Honestly, this game was really well structured as far as not letting you progress past a certain point without solving the puzzle. So I'd say a 1 or a 2. I couldn't even have walked fast if I tried.
We did it.
Like, what am I doing now? Do I just need to go? We're just playing in the sky now. This is my favorite part of the whole game. thank you for watching. Obviously, it's still a little bit of a work in progress as far as what the ratings are gonna look like. At some point, I want to have like rating bars and cool graphics that I can point to, but I still don't know how to do that. So it would really help out the channel if you would like and subscribe. And also if you want to comment below your favorite short puzzle game. If you do want to watch the full live stream of this playthrough, there will be a link video somewhere. I think I can do that. Thank you again for watching, and we'll catch you in the next episode.